long for us, so bear with us because this is going to be a little bit tricky, but we are on Colossus, and this should be a mixy one, Dustin. This is an interesting map to say the least, but there will be a lot of engagement.
There will be a lot of engagements indeed. We have Boston starting with some control. Well, that doesn't last too long. Now Toronto's back on to the point. Boston's back on it. We're already seeing a back and forth just like the map one, although, or it's the map one of the last series, although I think this one is a little bit more pronounced so far. It's a literal back and forth. Still, Toronto will have it so far. Boston will have it again. And we're going to P2. I always get confused on which side P2 is. Okay, Boston will have it to spawn, but you have that Toronto member in the back there in number one. Yeah, he gets that kill, and they take over the point. So it's all Toronto so far for P2.
Big kill there in the back, and now it's going to be Boston having to break through the front. Perfect finding the kill on the Cobra. Now you see two Boston players taking this flank. This is going to get red, you would think, here by Toronto. The repinch coming in from Gemsword does find one, doesn't account for the second player though. And now this gets a little bit mixy in the back, and the kills do go the way of Boston. So now Scope on this time, trying to get the kill in the back. He gets taken down. Nice break there for Boston. As now Cobra is allowed to push out. Does find one, gets taken down, with the time going in the way of Boston.
Yeah, time going in the way of Boston still. Anybody's game. Both teams still fighting for this with 20 seconds left, although Toronto is just getting shut out. It's all Boston all the time here on P2. We will move over to P3. You see some tunnel action there. Doesn't last too long. Toronto will start on the point, though. You see, again, Boston maybe creeping up. That tunnel actually is successful in getting that Toronto member off of it. Boston getting... sorry. Now getting some time on the point. Toronto members through the tunnel not faring so well. Boston is looking to extend their lead. The back and forth nature of this map did not last too long, but again, Toronto is now mounting a comeback. They have three members of the squad going into it all at once. And the team kill is not what you want. It's a 1v1 on the point for the point, and Toronto will win it and maybe get some time on this P number 3, putting him right back into the match.
Rotation for P4 also important, as well as the kills will go the way of Toronto. So they have control of that, but it is going to be Boston collecting the rest of the scrap time. Now you're allowed to push through this and try to secure these back spawns. Lacewood getting that first kill, but now only two members in the back of Boston. They got to find this kill. Anarchy not ready for it. Mojo finding one, finding a second. Nice snap onto Smoke there, and now going to be able to play this from the front time, as here comes Toronto. They need to get into this hill. They do. The break is in, but you're getting close spawns if you're our Boston. As I say that, number 6 and number 5 spawn out, so this hill is going to continue to be mixy. It's now Toronto in control of the spawns, but it seems like the team that's broken it from the front is the one in control, and now finally Toronto will get control of the time.
Yeah, Toronto getting control of the time. Again, 20 seconds left. Differentiating these two teams, make that 15 seconds. Boston is not letting this scrap go. I mean, on a map as small as this, you may as well just hit it. Boston trying to enter in from the front, mildly successful. Now a 2v1. If number 6 Emoja can do this, they can maybe score some time, but not going to happen. Instead, we go back to P1, where Boston is ready and waiting for those Toronto members to make a play for it. You see a Toronto member go up the stairs, get shut down. Boston will capture some points. Thus far, Toronto actually, with that statue jump, makes it into the point. Again, very mixy so far. We are back to a back and forth map. I mean, blink and another team is in the lead.
Shout out to Toronto, though, because they got down early, and it kind of was looking pretty ugly as well, but they actually end up taking the lead here back on this P1. Now Smoke taking a route, finding one, looking for a second, will get that kill as well. And right now, Toronto is finding all the kills after a rough start. I don't even know how Smoke got that kill, but I mean, nades coming in to time, but right now, this is all Toronto. They have the time, and they are also set up for new, and this is a spot for Boston where now the shoe's on the other foot, and it can get pretty ugly for them. They have to find a break here onto this P2. They get the kill off of old, and now you're looking for these kills over toward P2. They're looking for the wrap around the spawn. They are finding the kills, but now you see it is Toronto very aware of this, looking for the kills in the back, not finding them, and Boston's able to break in.
Yeah, Boston able to break in. Doesn't last too long, though. You see Toronto maybe trying to secure those spawns. Will be successful in doing it. Boston going back to the front, but 3 of them go down. Toronto doing a good job of chaining momentum here. Once on the back foot in this map, they are now leading by about 40 points, and Boston is struggling to get an angle on this team on this point. Finally able to do it. Toronto, you see that one member in the back. His days are numbered back there. Toronto, though, the rest of the team spawning on the other side will give them some clearance to hop on a P3 and maybe extend this lead a little bit more than it already is. But you know, if you're Boston, you got to be thinking about it. You have a little bit of a pinch developing here. The question is, where will the Toronto members spawn? It's on the right side of the map. I think maybe Boston is going to be able to read this, considering they have players all the way on the left side of the map, but it doesn't matter. I mean, Toronto is able to just kind of clean house on the point, and okay, you get good spawns if you're Boston. All your team is there, but you aren't able to step into the point just yet. You finally have a contest. It doesn't last too long. 3 members on the side of Boston go down. Toronto doing a good job of holding down this P3 and keeping their lead.
I don't know if it was a situation where the guns just weren't hot for Toronto off the start, but they've been frying ever since, and Boston really in the blender right now as the lead opens up to. It's going to be about a 60-point lead here going into the second rotation of P4. The kills going down around the hill as well, and Toronto wins that, and this is getting ugly really fast for Boston as they have let this slip away. The run that Toronto has went on has been pretty crazy, and now you have to break this hill. There is no other way if you want to win this map, and it's not going well. As Perfect finds 2, and again, Boston has to filter to the front, and they are just getting absolutely cut down time and time again. Gems World just hopping over that barrier, getting as many kills as he really wants. And what has happened to this Boston squad?
Yeah, I mean, Boston is collapsing, but I think really what's happening is Toronto is really finding their groove. I mean, like you mentioned, the kills just going their way. They're winning the gunfights that they need to. I mean, you have a few moments like right now where Boston is maybe able to make the point look a little bit mixy, but there's 10 seconds left. They're going back to P1. P1 is right there, by the way. So maybe, I mean, listen, if you're Boston, you've got 3 players on the point, but if you're Toronto, you have players all around the map. A pinch was developing. Unfortunately, the Western Front does collapse, but hey, if you're Toronto, you're trying to make some crafty plays there, maybe not working out for the time being. You could theoretically lose all the time on this point and still be ahead if you're Toronto, but you don't really want it to come to that. Although Boston doing a really good job of making the case for why they deserve to be back into this match.
Look, I mean, if they can get a little bit of time here and they hold spawns for new, anything's possible. I did see Gems World does have a missile in his back pocket, so that is going to come in handy as the kill feed continues to just be crazy on this Colossus. But I mean, honestly, not a terrible situation here. As I say that, the 2 go down, and now the push is coming in for Toronto to secure the back spawns. That's going to spawn out number 6 in Moja, and they got to find these kills in the back if they want to have any chance of staying in this game. Anarchy finding one through the front, Perfect finding another one in the back, and just like that, Boston for a second maybe thought they had a lifeline, and maybe they still do. It's teed up finding a kill in the back, but they could not get rid of Perfect. Meanwhile, as it's going down, it is Boston on the time, but man, this has just been this has been a mixy map. It feels more mixy than it usually is. The break does come in though for Boston, and anything's possible.
Yeah, Toronto, they're all just going down on that P1 area. You do have 1 survivor, but I mean, okay, your team spawns right where you need them to. You do send 3 in the front, 2 of them go down, and Boston is back in this game. This is craziness. Like, it is just like literal back and forth. And now you have Toronto dropping the nuke on the point, somehow gets nothing at all, and now Boston is going to be within like 10 or 15 points of Toronto's scoreline. And then you have Boston members on P3 getting some kills. Okay, Toronto stops the bleeding. They have players on both sides. They do collapse on the point. But, I mean, Boston is doing a good job of getting right back into it. Toronto holding down P number 3 so far. Boston just completely wipes off the map.
Yeah, but now you're in a spot if you're Boston where you are in trouble because you're getting a deep back spawn. Still have the missile in the pocket. I know they had 2 in the situation there, but Anarchy caught them on P2 with 19 seconds was definitely a choice. They do have another one in the pocket. Perfect finding another kill. Make it 38 and 27 for my man. And this could be closed out here. As Perfect continuing to find the kills, looking for another player top blue. He gets taken down. Smoke now on the pinch. Trying to make it difficult for Boston to get in. They can no longer win it here. Boston will control this time, but the rotation coming in for Toronto. Again, they have that cruise in the back pocket if they need it. Somehow, 2 players from Boston's actually slipped through and got through the back. Literally, they ran right past Anarchy on time. So, if they can maybe do something back here, but he's going to get taken down. It looks like maybe not. And now Boston is in on the time for just a second, making it mixy. Only 12 seconds away, though, if you are Toronto. Teed up gets on the time. Finds 2. And this one is not over just yet. They know they're spawning in the back. They can kind of keep them trapped back there. Lacewood finding a kill. Looking for a second. Finds it as well. Now you can turn around and look for the other way. Cover finding the kill. He's 35 and 34, and this one's not over. Now, if you're Boston, if you're Toronto, do you invest this cruise missile? As now it's Boston that has a chance to win on this one. Gemsword with it in his back pocket. Doesn't look like they're going to use it. 20 seconds away if you are Toronto. Back in the time is Toronto. Finding 2 kills is Toronto. Make it 3. They're going to collect the rest of the time, and they can still win here. You got to get in if you are Boston. They did not get that tick. They got to get in the hill. Finding 1 is Mojer. They get in the hill. This will go back to a P1. 248, 232. The kill's going the way of Cover, but now you got to race to get over there. Anarchy finding the kill on the hill. And Mojer in. Mojer finds 2. 1 more on time. Smoke. Going in.
My God!
It's 4 down. It's 4 down. 10 seconds
Oh
away.
my God!
10 seconds away if you're Boston. Anarchy looking to get back in. Finds 1. Looking for a second. Gets taken out. 3 seconds away. Perfect on the
No!
Finds 1.
No!
And it's shut down.
Oh my God!
It's shut down. Toronto pulled through in the end. 250, 249. And it was the play from Perfect at the end to pinch it. And they win the map.
I don't know what to say. I have no word.
But yeah, I mean, this is gonna be definitely an interesting one. As Boston starting out on offense, getting into this one, throwing a random smoke off the back, and I mean, these guys are just squaring up. It's like we're back on Colossus. They do not care.
I mean, Boston has a bone to pick. Unfortunately for them, it's not going their way. Maybe there's a Lacewood sniper, maybe gonna even the score a little bit. But I mean, yeah, I mean Boston losing that map and then maybe not doing so well in the first round of the S&D. Maybe not the chain you want. I mean, map number 2, maybe not the start you want. T-Dub though, trying to pull it back a little. Maybe the sniper is actually gonna become James Bond for a minute.
No!
Oh my God!
Caught in 4K.
Boston, the luck is in shambles tonight.
That hurts. That hurts, and it's like that Toronto will win the round. Yo, I'm losing full if I'm Lacewood. We just lost the map by 1, and then I just choked the kill that got caught on stream. Oh man.
I'm gonna be honest. I think there's some unseen forces casting some hexes over this map, specifically against Boston. I think something's happening here.
I mean, this is the Boston Burgers right now. They are struggling just a bit. Perfect. I mean, had a great map 1, starting off 3-0 here. In this map number 2, and Toronto will now take this over toward the A side. Spread through the map. Boston again, kind of squaring up on this A side. They are not afraid. Despite everything that has happened so far in the series, Cover finding the first blood with the nade, and Moja following it up, and Moja finding 2. So just like that, you get back into a 1v4 here. around. Good news for Toronto. It is perfect. Finding one through a whole satellite dish. Now looking for more as he spotted one P1. Look, anything's possible. That's all I'm going to say. But Lacewood with the snipe. It's getting dicey.
Yeah, you could say Perfect had a high-speed connection there. No? Okay. Listen, I'm trying here.
You know, it's just one of those things where, like, you don't realize, like, what you can actually wallbang in this game. And then it's like, oh, no, I can just shoot through a whole friggin' satellite. Cool.
Oh, yeah. It was either rank play or my match last night where I was playing Den and I was sitting you and like I forget what it was, but it was like that like material in the middle of you was like stone, like marble or something. And I looked at it, I'm like, there's no way they could get me through this. And sure enough, I go down. I think Boston maybe learned that the hard way just now. I guess satellites are not your friends. But we have a tie game so far in this map number 2, but these teams are so aggressive at it. You see those grenades happening right off the rip. You see Toronto really wanting to push up that mid-map, but respecting Boston's map coverage so far. Specifically, that Lacewood is holding it down, make sure that mid-map doesn't become any messier than it already is. Though, we do see Smoke going for it. Smoke actually gets into P4. I don't know how useful that's going to be, but I mean, right under the nose of Anarchy, a bomb gets planted. I think the bomb planter doesn't get away with his life, but Lacewood is making up for lost time, getting a double kill, and Boston will carry that one through. That was a solid one out of them, and they're right back into the series.
Yeah, I mean, this is a map that can be not dominated by. I mean, it could be dominated by snipers, but really, you can hold that A site down from that top green, and it makes it tough. But the smoke does get down. They're able to get the bomb down, and get the kills in the end. Gems looks like he's done with the sniper for now. We'll see if they have anybody else hop on it. But so far in this one, the offensive side has looked pretty good. Lacewood, nice angle here. Is going to get some shots on the players across the map in Grandma's. Now we have 2 players in store, although they don't know it. Smoke and Cover. Cover now backing out, and now the push coming through. Store for Toronto. The kill comes in. Anarchy finds Cover, and now backs up with his life. Smoke finding one as well on the Moja. 1v2. Gemsward now on the pinch. And now another 1v4 situation now for Lacewood. I believe he also has the snipe in his hand as well, so good luck with that. He is taken down. Toronto back on the board.
Toronto back on the board. Tie game so far. I swear to God, if this ends in around 11, I'm going to lose my mind. And then if it does, if the overload isn't 1 point sudden death, I'm also going to lose my mind. But yeah, I mean, these teams are living up to their promise of that map number 1, giving us a so far tie game in this S&D. I do enjoy how they're playing it too. I really do think like these teams are like playing aggressive, but then like they run towards the middle of the map and immediately they start respecting each other and start trying to find another way around. We'll see if it happens again here. You see Boston maybe eyeing that A bomb site, but again, those snipers are trying to get coverage on the map wherever they can. Already some shots being traded. Nothing happening so far. Oh, there you go. Gems World getting a nice clean kill on a Cover. Toronto has the upper advantage. We'll see what they can do in this defense.
It's kind of one of those things for now where like you feel like you have to smoke that site out every time. You're in smoke. We'll see if he can find that. You're finding one first, but Smoke is there for the trade. Gemsward with a snipe again. He last alive here. Does find the kill on the smoke. Make it a 1v2. Got a sniper on the other side as well. You'd imagine that he is going to be able to pick up a gun though at some point. He is just firing random shots off right now. Actually, he definitely found a gun. He's now teed up. I mean, not in a terrible spot, but as soon as he peeks up, he's going to get his head taken off. You'd imagine. Does not get the kill onto the player near site, and Toronto back in front. And like I said, it's just weird, man, because like there's going to be a sniper top 3 basically every time. So do you smoke that site to get it down? But then it gets tricky with like, the other team running through it with the aggressiveness, it's going to be tough. I think for the side of Boston, if they cannot deal with that sniper up top.
Yeah, I mean, look, I do like as a viewer, as a spectator, I think this is great. Like, I really love the fact that we're getting shots traded early, and it's like, it's really not these fast rounds. It is kind of like one at a time, and then you kind of see like the last man alive maybe being able to make a comeback in that T-dubs. But I think these two teams are really going at each other. I say that, and two immediately die off right off the bat for Toronto. It's now a 4v2. We kind of know how this one is probably going to end. You see the Toronto members just backed up into that blue house, and I don't know if Boston knows that they're both in there. I assume they do, but I mean, you see they're infiltrating that house in like Modern Warfare 19 campaign, and there you go. Boston just gets business done. Tie game again.
I'll tell you what, that's one way to deal with a sniper. Just run at the other team, and it works there. I mean, Cobra did not give a damn running into top blue. Does find one, and they trade it out at the end. But you seem very aggressive there from Boston on the defensive side. Kind of, again, trying to eliminate that sniper threat. Sometimes that is the best way to do it is if, there's a sniper on the other team, just pick up the pace, make them uncomfortable. That's what they do there. Now they're back on the offensive side as we are at a 3-3 game. Once again, bomb going toward this mid-map A side. That's where you're going to see a lot of the full stack here from Toronto as they are all A side. You actually don't have a sniper top green this time. T-Dub does find the kill on the gems ward. Don't know if he has a sniper there or not. He gets taken down. Now if you're Boston, you can try to work your way up to the site to get it down. Toronto player still around, but T-Dub finding another one. Excuse me, it's perfect. Finds one, trade it out. Now 1v smoke. What kind of time does he get here? Can he get the kill? He does not. Boston win the round and they take the lead.
Yeah, I mean, Boston taking the lead. I feel like it's like 2 rounds at a time. Like one gets 2, the other gets 2. And so you see the lead kind of shifting with every cycle, I should say. Interesting one so far though. Again, I think besides the round that I introduced as being like a methodical playing of the two teams and then 2 Toronto members immediately go down, I do think besides that one round, these rounds have been pretty good. We'll see. Toronto is getting extra aggressive, but Boston's already on that A ball. B, it just doesn't exist to these two teams. I don't think it is like people want to check into this hotel, but there's no vacancy here. Cobra gets a first blood on the smoke, and again, if Boston can carry this one through, push this to a 5-3, looks like they might be gearing up for it. 3 versus 1 in the live count. Perfect is going to have to live up to his namesake. Getting some shots, though, not able to do it. Boston, 5-3. Finally, a team is up by 2 in this map.
Actually, so I like that play from Boston because I think what they were trying to do with their play through Plainstein was, again, play fast and super. But this time it was Toronto that kind of pushed the pace. They had numbers. It was 4v2 on that site, but they were not able to get the kills. And then once they, went one down, Pench was able to come in. Nice plays there from Boston as they are 1 round away. And it feels like Toronto, I don't know. Boston feels like they made the in-game adjustments here round by round, and Toronto just has not been to follow suit. It does feel like. And now, hey, look at that. We got to play potentially over towards B. As we'll see if this is read by Toronto. T-Dub getting some shots through mid, but see, I mean, this basically free as now the player up top green is going to have something to say about it. Cobra thought about going up top with the bomb. That could have been bad, but it is going to be Gems getting the first kill on Emoja. He is going to get another one. It's now a 3v2, make it a 2v2. Excuse me, a smoke on the Pench does find one, and that'll be the round. Toronto countering that play over toward B pretty nice.
Yeah, that was pretty nice. I was going to say, like, for a minute there, Toronto was reading that play like it was summer reading, which is not at all. But they made the adjustment very quick. They get
So
into that
random.
green window. They get into. Listen, what do you think I'm doing when you're talking? I'm just coming up with zingers, and then when it turns out that Toronto actually reads it, eventually, I'm like, well, I came up with the zinger, so I have to work it in somehow. Anyway, good job, Toronto, on reading that play in time. But it is Toronto's round to lose as they now have the bomb. They are playing a little bit more defensively than I feel like we've seen from them. You do have the number 7 player in Gem's World push up to Plane. Smoke will open up the round with a kill on the Cover. Cover is just getting pushed up a little bit too far there, getting picked out of place. But Boston is all over the map. Your two guys in the center of the map go down. It's looking more and more like a round 11 as the bomb is getting planted. You see Boston rushing over in time. It's only up to Moja right now to make this play happen. Moja less alive, but he's dealing with 3 Toronto players. It's not going to happen. And I really should have saved my summer reading pun for that one because Boston did not read that one for shit.
Well, so I was just talking about the mid-round adjustment, and that was a really good round there from Toronto. And if you're Boston, you're pissed because like that is like such like a cruddy round, but like they literally did not leave their spawn because they knew how aggressive Boston's been. You see, Cobra got too far pushed up, and he pays for it. And from that point on, they just played their numbers. But honestly, a nice little play from them. And I think if you're Boston, you're pretty happy here with having offense because I think it's going to play to your advantage here, at least with how aggressive they've been playing. It is, I mean, we are squaring up over on this A site. It looks like it's going to be what happens here. Tito's going to try to get the nade, and I love this play. I love this play from Anarchy. It looks like they might be trying to get the wall bangs to read it, but if he can get through, this should be a free one for number 5. We'll see. Get through all the way. Now should be able to pop up and find one on the tees up. He does. He's going to get the advantage over front. Now looking for the kill with the background blade. He's got to get through your life. He does not. Moja going to get the kill on the Anarchy. Now back to a 3v3. Cover trying to read this flank is 2 Toronto players now into that blue area, making it very uncomfortable. Jennifer finds one, looking for a second, but Moja finding one, looking for a second, finds it as well. Now a 1v2 for Smoke. He sees one player. Does he know one player is right under him? Gets a great timing. Now it's a 1v1 for the map. Moja chasing this down, 10 and 7, having a nice map. Throwing at the Smoke. Does he get the timing here? Oh my goodness. COD timing at his finest as Moja. Looks like he's going to be able to get away. He's going to take this over to B, and he should be able to get it down. Smoke is going to have a retake now. With the sub in hand, it is not going to be easy. What timing does he get here off the plant? Does Moja get it down time? He does. But he's not going to be able to get away, and oh my goodness, if you're Boston, you are sick to your stomach. Smoke clutches it up, and it is 2-0 Toronto. But, I mean, as close... 2 maps as literally as close as it could be. A round 11 1v1 and a 250
while together, multiple years. So I think that's part of it. But yeah, here we go. Overload Scar. Let's hope for Sun and Death, Tej. I think this can be a good one.
Jumps World starting it off with the nade is it's gonna be. I don't even know. I feel like we've kind of been back and forth with the overloads this year in terms of like what's actually the side that Toronto is playing to right now at the start of the season. Is, as I say that, they get a score in 30 seconds, so maybe that's still the preferred side, but that is not how you want to start if you're a Boston, obviously, especially after those last 2 maps. Now you have Smoke in your base, finding the kills, being annoying. They have the presence over toward the A side. If you are Toronto, they might just score again. And already 2-0, and Boston is breaking. We are witnessing a breakdown. However, we all set up for this new. Moja gets absolutely slammed by Jen's World Cover with the trade. And now oh no, he's bringing it back to his base. Or, excuse me, we don't even have the teams mixed up, and I'm still mixing them up. Regardless, Toronto, nice start.
Yeah, nice start. You really can't complain about getting 2 points within a minute on an overload. So Toronto doing well, but now, like, Boston, they definitely are feeling the pressure to respond quickly. Problem is, like, they are grouping up, but then they're letting number 2 and Smoke just get around and get behind. Maybe you might be gifted a spawn here, number 5, maybe getting some iron sights on number 2, but then your entire team goes down, and then Toronto gets another score, and now they're 1 off from like shutting this half down very, very quickly, like before we even reach the halfway point of the half. This is not good for Boston. Obviously, you don't need me to say that. Boston recognizes this. I think this is where we see where is that adapting going to come into play. Are they going to adapt to the situation? Who knows? Toronto, though, has been very, very good so far.
If you're Boston, you have to at least get 1 before the round is over. And they had a chance there before that 3rd score from Toronto, but I mean, Perfect found 2 and it broke down there. But you cannot go into the second half down 4-0. It cannot happen. You got to keep the deficit to 2 at a minimum before you find the kill. As I was saying that, though, I mean, Smoke is just running up mid-map by himself. And now, here's Boston's time. Moja's deep in the back trying to find these kills. That's a nice kill right there. And now going to apply this pressure and be annoying.
Don't go A. Don't go A. No.
No, they did not. They could not get it as Anarchy. Goal line stand, and one less player place what he finds. 1 will get traded out. Again, as you said, I mean, we have the mini-map up. We can see everything, but there was a chance there. They were not able to get it done, and it looks like Toronto's going to try to play for this reset. They will get. Watch out for playing on 7 and up. Trying to hit a flank here and be annoying. Does find 1 onto Smoke, looking for more. Finding the kill on the Gems world. But again, I mean, Toronto just trading effectively. Like, you know, if Boston gets 2 down and right away they're traded out. Just been tough sledding here for the side of Boston.
Yeah, I mean, if you are the side of Toronto, all you need to do is stall, right? At this point, you could just have your entire team just sit at both. Well, yeah, okay, there we go. Every time I speak, what I'm about to say gets invalidated. But if you're the side of Toronto, all you have to do is sit around your points, just prevent a score. Obviously, Boston plays out really well. And we're seeing a strategy here. We're seeing a strategy we don't tend to like. You know. Okay, yeah, okay, all right. They're just wrapping it. Okay, thank God. But yeah, I mean, Toronto, all they need to do is burn time, but they are still going for it. Well done, well done. We appreciate that as casters.
Now a chance here. Moja finds 2, looking for a 3rd. That's a big kill there from Smoke, because if he doesn't get it. Chance there for Boston. Now near the bomb. Does get 1. Now it's 2 down. You can find another one that gets very interesting. Perfect. Finding the kill on the Lacewood.
Ooh.
That bomb gets reset, and now Toronto's very out of play, but Boston doesn't realize it, so they don't pick it up right away. Will allow Toronto to get back into it, and now 2 kills going their way. Now they're able to move up the map, and they're able to get that 4th score on the board. If you're Boston, if you keep it a 3-1, you have a chance to go into this next round, but you cannot let them score here. They're going to take the bomb and try to move this up the map place, finding 1 before getting traded out. And now it's going to be, I mean, trying to get to this point. What a nade! And that nade might come into play
I don't think
later.
they got it. I don't think they got it.
They did not. That smoke, that nade comes in, and that could be the difference. See if that comes back to haunt.
I mean, talk about a Project Hail Mary. That nade was a savior. Yeah, that was like, you would rather definitely go into the second half 3-1 versus 4-1. It was looking grim. I just can't get over, why didn't that player pick up the bomb? Like, obviously, if they picked up the bomb and kept pushing forward, that player on the side of Boston, if they picked up the bomb and kept pushing forward, they obviously weren't going to get it. They were about to walk into 4. But at least, like, wrap it around with your team and try to be the one holding it when the clock expires. I don't know. That was just a curious play out of me, but I don't think it really made too much of a difference. Oh my God. We've got exploding cars.
Now, wait a second. Oh, goodness. He got taken down. It doesn't matter. Toronto is going to... No, they got stopped at the goal line. Never mind. I was going to say... Wait. Gemra, just run. This is crazy. We've lost the plot already. Moja taking it around. I was going to say, they're going to score even faster than they did in the first round. But Moja gets out. He is putting on the moves, breaking ankles right now. He's in trouble, though. He is going to get taken down. And now is Toronto's chance. Where do you take this? You don't know where the enemy team is. They're trying to push to the back. Just run past them. Never mind. Lacewood takes him down. And Smoke, I mean, Boston's got to try to play for a reset, but this is going to be Smoke is the last player around, though. They do take him down, and now they should be able to get that reset. Of course, we can't see the timer, because why would we be able to? The reset comes in. Toronto, though, look at all this forward pressure.
Yeah, I mean, great forward pressure. Oh, we got a team kill coming off on the side of Boston. You definitely don't want to see that in this situation. Again, Toronto, it's Project Burn time right now. And, you know, they're happy to do it. They're happy to keep that ball just untouched in the center of the map. Of course, it would be nice if you get some extra scores, but you don't have to play offensively. You can play a little bit defensively. Boston, on the other hand, they've got to play offensively, but they're not doing a great job of winning the gunfights. Finally, though, Moja opens it up with a two-piece. Cobra combines for a kill on the perfect. That is 3 Toronto members off the map. Problem is, they're spawning right on the ball. Boston may or may not know that, but they're about to find out real quick. Cover goes down. You still have some Boston members getting some kills. Moja, nice two-piece again. Again, no Boston members wants to pick up that bomb in their hesitation, in their being out of place with their teammates. They just get killed across the map. Boston, they need to work as a squad if they want to at least tie this up and send us into sudden death. But, you know, at least Toronto is not parking the bus. That's nice.
I was just about to say, this is okay. You know what? This is typical out of Toronto. What we seen earlier was a travesty of our okay? And somebody, please help Moja. My goodness, this guy is frying. And, I mean, Lacewood is 23-19, but not close. And now Smoke is just going to run through everybody and score. 4-1. That might be the match. That is unfortunate. Boston just cannot seem to get a hold of this one. And now Toronto also set up to pick up the device. They're finding the kills. They don't even care about the bomb at this point. They're literally playing for spawn kills. And that's okay with them. And Boston, you are officially in the blender. Toronto going to take it up this side again. Look for another score. Moja trying to be the last side on the fence. I mean, this guy is doing everything he can. Going to get taken out, and Lacewood does get the trade. But, I mean, Boston, you're getting into the territory where you got to do some unthinkable things. So they got to score quick, and they might just give up another score as T-Dub just gets the kill. I mean, the pressure from Toronto right now, and that'll do it. 5-1. Toronto will win this series in a sweep unless Boston pulls off the greatest comeback I've ever seen.
Look, it is a sweep, but it was not a clean sweep. I mean, for those viewers just joining us, we had a 1-point hardpoint and a 1-round S&D that ended in a 1v1. This overload is not indicative of how this series went at all. It was a crazy first 2 maps. Not as crazy as this third map, unfortunately. Ooh. I mean, yeah, T-Dub slaying out. Unfortunately, it's not really going to make a difference here. You just physically cannot win at this point. And yet, we have to sit through it. You know what game mode this didn't happen in, Peach? This didn't happen in Control. We didn't have to stall in Control knowing the outcome of the map already. Just a little observation. Just a little observation.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. Moja has 41 kills, and they are getting slammed. Like, what is happening? But yeah, as you said, I mean, this map's not indicative of the series. I think this is one with Boston, like, so you can live with this result in the sense that, like, you know, you lose this match. This is a good team you're playing, right? But I think it's the way in which you lost it, and I hope for their sake it doesn't come down to a map win percentage, you know, situation for playoffs where they were so close on these 2 maps, and that could be the difference going forward in the season. But still early days here. Toronto Falters will win this one 5-2, win the series 3-0 as they start their series off strong. And again, as we've said, just the first 2 maps, absolute cinema. Great maps from these guys in the gold division. Moja, again, nice map to end it, but overall, the teamwork from Toronto was too much. The slaying, the pressure was too much, and that'll end us.